All the emotions after that, mate.
Just unbelievable. I mean, honestly, what I saw there, I can't even bother to moan about the scorecards because I couldn't be prouder. I mean, listen, I know me and Junior have had our ups and downs, but unbelievable respect to him. But for my man, Conor Benn, you've just seen the beginning, in my opinion, of one of the biggest stars in British boxing, the People's Champion.
How do you feel, Senior?
Extraordinary performance. And I give credit to Conor Benn because let me tell you what, I was always right. What did I say to you? He's an extraordinary fighter, but the promoters are bringing him up, which is spoiling his weight at 147. What did I say? I've been saying it for 2 years. That man can go across to the United States and actually tear it up. And you saw that. You saw that. Junior is too big a man. These weights that they are flouting they're destroying the fighters.
It's a hard one to swallow. I mean, obviously, I didn't come into the fight thinking it would be that close. I didn't come into the fight to lose. I didn't come in the fight for anything apart from winning. And obviously, it weren't good enough. So I need to do better.
Yeah, I was proud of him. Very, very close fight. Very, very close fight. Not going to go on about the decision. It could have gone either way. Chris done better in the later rounds, which I was very impressed with. So, yeah, what else can I say? It's just a good fight. Just looking forward to the rematch now.
The fight is over, and now experts are weighing in on what unfolded. Before the bout, Conor Benn called Chris Eubank Jr. a bit of a fool, yet admitted Eubank was good for boxing. While
I personally think he's a bit of an idiot, but, you know, I don't know if I speak on behalf of the nation or, you know, he has a couple people that like him. I just think he is what he is. You know, you need personalities in the sport of boxing. He's definitely a personality. You need it. You need people like him in the game. Don't mean I have to like him.
Do you think that once it's all done and dusted, there will be a time where you'll think of each other fondly, you'll have that relationship, or is it too much hatred?
I actually changed my mind. I don't hate him. I just think he's...
Ben didn't like him personally. He respected Eubank's role in the sport and clarified that he never truly hated him. Eubank Jr. stayed calm in the...
How are you feeling ahead of a big fight on Saturday night?
I'm calm, I'm relaxed, I'm happy, I'm fresh. Everything is on track.
For yourself, you know, this is a standard procedure. You've been in big fights. This is Conor's big step up. For yourself as well, you say skills and power, etc., is a big advantage. How much is experience and experience of this big occasion a power for you, an advantage for yourself as well?
I think that is maybe the deciding factor of all this. You know, we both have speed, we both have power, we both are hungry to win. We both do not have the experience that I have. He hasn't got it. He hasn't earned it. He doesn't have experience against, you know, the type of fighter that I am on a stage like we are going to be fighting in. You know, I fought in big arenas many times before in my career. He hasn't. Yeah. I think experience is going to be the deciding
build-up, acknowledging both fighters had speed and power, but insisted his edge came from experience under pressure.
You know, Eubanks, you know, wants to probably keep it on the outside as much as he can and use his skill sets to, you know, use his hand speed and his ability to throw counter punches and, you know, punches from different angles. He needs space, or space accommodates him pretty well and favors him pretty well when he has that space to do that. And I would think that Ben would like to take that space away. You know, like to kind of work his way.
He believed that composure and ring knowledge would give him the upper hand on fight night. Legendary trainer Teddy Atlas.
I like the ability of Eubanks when he's right. You know, when his focus is there, when he's right, to be able to do things in a boxing way on the outside. And I love Ben's style and his approach. I do, where, you know, being aggressive in a responsible way, you know, in a way a fighter should be, with paying attention to, you know, doing it with defense and responsibility of defense and, you know, just proper way to engage somebody, but the consistent offense looking to, you know, to engage. I think it's an interesting
Analysts predicted Eubank would use his speed and sharp counters from range, while Benn would aim to close the gap and disrupt his rhythm.
I just think Conor Benn's going to win. Too young, too fresh, and although, listen, Eubank, it took a lot for him to come back after getting viciously knocked out by Liam Smith to come back and beat Liam Smith.
Atlas praised Eubank's control and precision at distance and highlighted Benn's balance of aggression and discipline, noting how their contrasting styles.
I just think the fight's happening at the right time for Conor Benn. I think the fight's happening at the right time, and I favour Conor Benn in the fight.
Yeah.
I think Eubank Jr. is good for boxing. Genuinely, I think Chris Jr. is good for boxing. I think that if he was promoted by a Frank Warren or an Eddie Hearn back in the day when he turned pro, he would be an even bigger star than what he is now because of how he is. He's funny, like he's mild. He's quite funny, isn't he, Eubank Jr. He speaks well. But yeah, I think he's good for boxing, but I just think Conor Benn's going to chin.
Could make for a compelling clash. Sam Jones backed Benn, pointing to his youth and relentless energy. However, he also gave credit to Eubank for bouncing back.
Very tough fight for Conor. Not saying he can't win it because one big left hook could change anything. But to me, his best chance are to try to land a big shot. If that don't happen, or if he lands it and it don't hurt Chris, then it's going to be pretty rough for him because Chris is definitely an improved fighter. You understand me? And like even the stuff he's doing now, he's gonna continue to get better. But I think when he came down there with me for that year, it improved his foundation. You understand me? So it made him a better fighter.
Impressively, after being stopped by Liam Smith. Jones felt the timing of the fight favored Benn and believed he'd score a knockout. He described Eubank as talented.
He's gonna be hard to beat for anybody, especially a guy that's smaller than him. But we saw Liam Smith pull out the upset at one time, so I know that gave Ben much more hope that he could probably do the same. So it's going to be a great fight. Both fighters are great fighters. I love both of them. I think Chris is a little bigger and has the advantage because he's bigger.
Charismatic, and underrated, but still leaned toward Benn's hunger and explosiveness as decisive. Roy Jones Jr., who trained Eubank.
It's always personal. It's not just Chris. Every single one of my fights has been personal. If you're trying to take food off my table and out my kids' mouths, it's personal. It's never just business with me. It's always personal. I always got a chip on my shoulder about it. So, you know, come Saturday night, forget the egg slap. Forget the names, forget the calling me this. It makes no difference. It makes no difference. You know, there ain't no aggression. I'm coming in there to do a job, and I'm coming in there to wipe him out.
Can we get a final message to Eubank Jr.?
I ain't got no message. I ain't playing them games. You know, I'm just going to get there on Saturday and handle business. All the talking's done. All the media, it's all done. I'm just ready to get in there now and handle business.
Jr. for a year said Benn's best chance lay in landing a big left hook. If that didn't land, he believed the improved and more disciplined Eubank Jr. would take control.
Regardless of how those illegal drugs were in the system, they were in there, which means that he is a cheat. He will forever be a cheat. There will be people, including myself, that will never forgive him, especially when he is doing everything in his power to try and deny the fact.
He praised the growth he'd seen in Eubank throughout their time training together and noted Benn's unshakable will as a fighter, especially after the upset.
They cannot get a win over us. I have to respect my father's history, his legacy, what he achieved in his career. I can't let him down, I can't let myself down, and I can't let my fans down.
That loss to Liam Smith, but still picked Eubank based on his size, skills, and recent improvements. He expected a close, thrilling fight.
Bad guy yourself, or Chris?
I'm not a bad guy.
No.
Joe was funny.
That's what I get. I get that you're not a bad guy.
I'm not a bad guy.
But when you see Chris, you tend to get really annoyed, and I just think, what's up with you? What is it you don't
Why
like
do
about
I
him?
get annoyed?
Yeah, like you're pissed.
No, everyone gets annoyed.
And you're not a bad guy.
I'm definitely not a bad guy. I'm not how, I don't know what happens, but I'm definitely misunderstood. I am definitely misunderstood. Because I'm not a bad guy at all.
Conor Benn, meanwhile, emphasized that every fight felt personal, not just the one with Eubank. He saw any threat to his career or family as serious and said he stayed focused on the fight.
I think it was a great fight. I would pick Ben at the minute simply because Eubank was cracked by Liam Smith, and he was never cracked before. And it's a summary for me. He had a great chin up to then, and then he was knocked out, and it's never quite the same again. I think Ben is a more explosive fighter than Liam Smith. He's faster. He punches hard, but then good big one will always beat a good little one. All those cliches. But I just think I would give Ben the edge,
steering clear of unnecessary drama. However, Eubank Jr. didn't shy away from controversy, accusing Ben of ruining his own reputation by refusing to take responsibility for past issues.
What the circus is and what you're a fool to buy into, it's a really good fight. It's a 50-50 fight between two guys that are world ranked in their division. I mean, he's making out like neither of them have ever boxed before. They're both useless. It's a mismatch. It's not. It's a 50-50 fight between two world-ranked fighters who, by the way, fathers happen to be Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank, who had the biggest rivalry ever in British boxing, and, by the way, whose sons now have, by far, the biggest rivalry in British boxing, that is venomous, that is violent.
He condemned the denial and said it only worsened the situation. Eubank Jr. revealed he was driven by a deep responsibility to honor his father's legacy and vowed not to let anyone down.
I think Eubank is the favourite, and a lot of it depends on how he makes the weight and what he looks like on the scales, and the £10 rehydration clause is going to be difficult for him. I've been kind of criticised a wee bit because I've been saying he's been boxing at 168. He hasn't. He's been boxing at 160, but the point I was trying to make was he has boxed at 168, and as you get older you normally go up the weight, you don't come down the weight, so he's it's hurting him now to do 160, and I need to see what he looked like on a scale before I make a prediction.
Ben responded that he wasn't a bad guy, but was annoyed by what he called Eubank's childish antics. Barry McGuigan favored Ben, citing his speed and strength.
I think it all depends on what Eubank's got left, which is very difficult to know. What is he now, 36 coming, or 35, 36? Does he have the appetite for boxing anymore? I don't know. He's gone for the Ben fight, hasn't he? As opposed to maybe chasing a world title shot. So, is it about money? Is it about being a world champion? I don't know what his ambitions are. That's motivating him now. It seems like it's money, and even though we all need money and want money and all the rest of it, it's not actually a great motivator.
Strength and questioning Eubank's durability after his knockout loss. Still, he acknowledged Eubank's size and toughness. Eddie Hearn promoted the bout as a historic continuation of their father's iconic rivalry, noting the intense hostility between the two sons. Carl Frampton leaned toward Eubank but said it depended on how well he handled the weight cut, especially with the £10 rehydration clause. Matt Macklin questioned Eubank's motivation at age 35, suggesting he prioritized money over legacy by choosing Ben over a world title shot.